The 1974 United States quarter dollar is part of the long-running Washington Quarter Series, which was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first President of the United States, and by 1974 this design had already become one of the most familiar coins in American history. The obverse front of the coin features a left-facing portrait of George Washington designed by sculptor John Flanagan, whose initials JF appear subtly near the base of Washington's neck, and surrounding the portrait are several important inscriptions that carry deep historical and national meaning, including liberty across the top rim symbolizing the foundational American ideal of freedom, "In God We Trust," placed to the left of Washington's profile reflecting the national motto that was officially adopted during the Cold War era but had appeared on U.S. coins earlier, and the date 1974 positioned at the bottom, which places the coin firmly in the post. Silver, modern clad era of U.S. coinage. The reverse, back, of the coin displays a detailed bald eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it, symbolizing both military readiness and a desire for peace, a classic American motif that traces its symbolism back to the Great Seal of the United States, and above the eagle appears the inscription United States of America, while just below it is E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning out of many. 1. Representing the union of the original colonies into a single nation, and at the bottom is the denomination quarter dollar clearly identifying the coin's value. The 1974 quarter was struck at 3 U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark, with the Philadelphia and Denver issues intended primarily for everyday circulation and produced in extremely large quantities numbering in the hundreds of millions, while the San Francisco mint struck proof versions specifically for collectors, which feature sharper details, mirror-like fields, and frosted designs. Composition-wise, the 1974 quarter is not silver, as all circulating Washington quarters after 1964 were made of a copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving the coin a total weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and a reeded edge with evenly spaced grooves, and this change from silver to clad metal reflects rising silver prices and economic pressures of the 1960s that permanently altered U.S. coinage. In terms of value, a typical 1974 quarter found in circulation is generally worth only its face value of 25 cents, but coins in uncirculated condition, meaning they show no wear and retain original mint luster, can be worth more to collectors, especially if they grade high on the Sheldon scale, with pristine examples graded MS-65 or higher commanding modest premiums. While 1974's proof quarters are more desirable due to their limited production and superior finish, collectors also pay close attention to errors in varieties, such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planchets, or weak strikes, which can significantly increase a coin's value depending on rarity and condition. Historically, the year 1974 places this quarter in a period of major transition in American society, marked by post-Vietnam War adjustments, economic inflation, and cultural change, yet the coin's traditional imagery and inscriptions reflect continuity and stability in U.S. identity, making the 1974 Washington quarter not just a piece of everyday money but a small, durable artifact of American history, values, and craftsmanship that connects modern collectors and casual holders alike to nearly a century of circulating coin design and more than 2 centuries of national symbolism. Next top. The 1979 United States of America quarter dollar belongs to the classic Washington Quarter Series, a cornerstone of U.S. coinage that began in 1932 and remained largely unchanged for decades, and this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark located on the obverse just to the right of George Washington's tied hair ribbon, making it distinct from the Philadelphia issues, which carry no mint mark, and the San Francisco issues, which are typically proofs. The obverse of the coin features the dignified left-facing bust of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan, whose design was chosen after a national competition and has since become one of the most recognizable portraits in American numismatics, with Washington's strong profile intended to convey leadership, restraint, and permanence, and surrounding his portrait are inscriptions loaded with national meaning. including liberty arched boldly across the top rim symbolizing the core democratic principle upon which the United States was founded, "In God We Trust," placed to the left of Washington's face representing the national motto and reflecting the cultural and historical role of faith in American public life, and the date 1979 positioned at the bottom, marking the coin as a product of the late 1970s, a decade defined by economic inflation, energy crises, political realignment, and social change, yet still anchored to traditional imagery in its circulating coinage. The reverse of the 1979 D-quarter presents the familiar and powerful image of a bald eagle with wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows symbolizing military strength, while an olive branch beneath the arrows signifies peace, together expressing the nation's preference for peace but readiness for defense, and above the eagle is the inscription United States of America, asserting national sovereignty, while directly below it appears E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning out of many, one, which encapsulates the idea of unity formed from diverse states and peoples, and at the bottom of the reverse is quarter dollar, clearly stating the coin's denomination. Compositionally, the 1979 D-quarter is part of the post-silver-clad era, meaning it contains no precious metal, instead being made of a layered structure consisting of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, a change implemented permanently after 1964 due to rising silver prices and the need for durable, cost-effective circulating coinage, giving the coin a standard weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and a reeded edge designed both to discourage counterfeiting and to provide tactile distinction. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters in 1979. Making the 1979 D-quarter extremely common in circulation, and because of this high mintage, most examples today are worth face value unless they are in exceptional condition, though uncirculated. Specimens with full mint luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks can carry modest collector premiums, especially when professionally graded at MS65 or higher, while coins showing unusual mint errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, or weakly struck details, can be significantly more valuable and are actively sought by error collectors. Unlike San Francisco proof quarters, the 1979 D-quarters were struck for everyday commerce and typically exhibit a more matte appearance with less sharply defined fields, reflecting their intended role in daily transactions rather than collector presentation. Historically, the 1979 quarter represents a moment just before major change in U.S. coinage design, as the Washington quarter would eventually be modified in 1999 with the introduction of the 50-state quarters program, making the 1979 D issue part of the final decades of the classic Washington reverse, and as such it serves as a quiet but meaningful artifact of late 20th century America, embodying continuity, national symbolism, industrial-scale minting, and the everyday economic life of millions of Americans who use this coin in stores, vending machines, and public transportation, carrying with it the enduring messages of liberty, faith, unity, and national identity every time it passed from hand to hand. Next top. The 1979 United States $1 coin, officially known as the Susan B. Anthony dollar, and I'll give you a very detailed, collector-level explanation in one continuous paragraph, covering history, design, inscriptions, minting, varieties, value, and significance. The 1979 $1 coin marked a major turning point in U.S. coinage because it was the first American circulating coin to feature a real woman rather than a symbolic female figure, honoring Susan B. Anthony, 1820–1906, a leading civil rights leader and women's suffrage activist whose work helped lead to the eventual passage of the 19th Amendment granting women the right to vote. The coin was introduced as part of an effort by the U.S. government to replace the bulky Eisenhower dollar with a smaller, more convenient coin that could save money by reducing reliance on paper dollar bills, and it has a distinctive 11-sided, hexagonal, inner border while still appearing round, which was intended to help distinguish it from a quarter, though in practice many people still confuse the two due to similar size and color. The obverse, front, of the coin shows a right-facing portrait of Susan B. Anthony designed by chief engraver Frank Gasparo, with the word Liberty arched along the top edge, the phrase "In God We Trust" positioned to the left of her chin, and the year 1979 at the bottom, while the reverse, back, Retains the Apollo 11 moon landing design originally used on the Eisenhower dollar, depicting an American bald eagle landing on the moon while clutching an olive branch, with Earth visible in the background, symbolizing both technological achievement and peaceful intent. Above the eagle appears the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, and encircling the top rim is United States of America, while $1 is inscribed along the bottom, and the coin is composed of a copper core clad in layers of copper nickel, giving it a silver-like appearance but containing no actual silver, with a weight of 8.1 grams and a diameter of 26.5 millimeters. In 1979 the coin was minted at 3 U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark; Denver, D Mint Mark; and San Francisco, S Mint Mark, with Philadelphia and Denver striking coins primarily for circulation, while San Francisco produced both circulation quality coins and special proof versions for collectors, the proofs being struck multiple times with polished dies and planchets to create mirror-like fields and frosted details. An especially important collector detail is the 1979 P wide rim, or near date, variety, where the date appears closer to the rim due to a different die design, making it scarcer and more valuable than the standard narrow rim version. While San Francisco proof coins also exist in two types, Type 1 with a filled-in or blob-like S mint mark, and Type 2 with a clearer, sharper S, the latter being rarer and more desirable. Despite its historical importance, the Susan B. Anthony dollar was unpopular in everyday commerce because of confusion with quarters and resistance to abandoning the dollar bill, leading to very limited circulation and the suspension of production after 1981, with a brief revival in 1999 due to coin shortages. Today, most 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars are worth face value in circulated condition, while uncirculated examples typically range from a few dollars to higher amounts depending on condition, and rare varieties such as the 1979 P wide rim or high grade proof Type 2 coins can command significantly higher prices among collectors. Overall, the 1979 $1 coin stands as an important artifact in American numismatic history, symbolizing social progress, government experimentation in currency design, and the challenges of changing public habits, making it both a historical commemorative piece and a fascinating subject for collectors and historians alike. Next top. The 1999 P United States $1 coin, which is part of the Susan B. Anthony dollar series, and here is a very long, detailed, collector-level explanation written as one continuous paragraph, covering its background, inscriptions, design, minting purpose, composition, varieties, value, and historical importance. The 1999 P $1 coin was issued by the United States Mint as a response to an unexpected shortage of dollar coins in the late 1990s, particularly for use in vending machines, mass transit systems, and postal services, at a time when the newer Sacagawea golden dollar was still in development and not yet ready for release, prompting the Mint to temporarily revive the Susan B. Anthony dollar series, which had originally circulated from 1979 to 1981 and then again only in 1999. The P Mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and unlike earlier years, 1999 was minted exclusively for circulation, not proofs, making it distinct from earlier San Francisco proof issues. The obverse, front, of the coin features the same right-facing portrait of Susan B. Anthony designed by chief engraver Frank Gasparo, honoring her legacy as a pioneering leader in the American women's suffrage movement, with the word liberty boldly inscribed along the upper rim, the national motto "In God We Trust" placed to the left of Anthony's profile, and the date 1999 centered at the bottom, while the surface shows the characteristic 11-sided inner border, hendecagon, that helps differentiate the coin by touch despite its round outer edge. The reverse, back, displays the iconic Apollo 11 moon landing design originally created for the Eisenhower dollar, featuring a bald eagle descending toward the lunar surface with wings spread wide and an olive branch clutched in its talons, symbolizing peaceful exploration, with Earth visible above the eagle in the background, reinforcing the technological and scientific achievement of the United States during the space age. And above the eagle appears the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, while the inscriptions United States of America curve along the upper rim and $1 is prominently placed along the bottom. The 1999 P Susan B. Anthony dollar is composed of a copper core clad with copper nickel, giving it a silver-colored appearance despite containing no precious metal, weighs 8.1 grams, and measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter, making it similar in size to a quarter, a similarity that famously contributed to public confusion and limited acceptance in everyday use. More than 29 million of these coins were struck in Philadelphia in 1999, a relatively modest mintage compared to earlier dollar coins, yet high enough that most examples today remain affordable, with circulated pieces typically worth face value, while uncirculated coins may command modest premiums depending on condition, luster, and strike quality. Unlike the 1979 issues, the 1999 P coin does not have major widely recognized die varieties, which simplifies identification for collectors, but high-grade examples certified by grading services can still attract interest due to the coin's unique place in U.S. coinage history. Historically, the 1999 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar represents the final circulation issue of the series, as it was permanently replaced later that same year by the Sacagawea dollar, which featured a golden color and smoother public acceptance, making the 1999 issue a transitional artifact that bridges two eras of modern American dollar coins. Overall, this coin is significant not for rarity or high intrinsic value, but for its role in U.S. monetary policy, its commemoration of a major civil rights figure, and its connection to America's space exploration achievements, making it a meaningful and historically rich piece for collectors, historians, and anyone interested in the evolution of U.S. currency.